Well, I'm not dead yet, but I did have to pay my taxes. Hello, and welcome to my vlog. I'm Sumant Vepa, a developer, a DevOps engineer, and an entrepreneur, and this is my story. This is the vlog for Sunday, December 27th, 2020. And the taxes were due by the end of the year. Those of you who live in India will know that the government actually deferred the tax filing deadline to the end of the year from June 30th, when it is normally due. So it's due now, December 31st. And as usual, I procrastinated doing my taxes, and it's come to this now. It'll get done. I probably have a couple of days of work I need to do on and off, downloading my statements, doing all that stuff. This made me think about company structures. One thing I noticed about doing a startup is that when you first do your startup, your focus is entirely on building a product, and rightly so. That's what it should be on. Nothing else matters more than that, and that's what you should focus on. However, many founders, myself included, and particularly younger founders, tend to not think about company structures, legal structures, any of that until far too late. And this is not necessarily advisable. What happens is that if you are successful and you have raised money, or you have hired people and you have brought on a co-founder, you will find that if you haven't thought through your process, and I made this mistake in the past, if you haven't thought through your process of how you're going to structure your company, you will generally end up taking the advice of people whose interests are not necessarily aligned with yours 100%. So and if you're fortunate enough to raise venture capital, that will typically be your VC. Most of the time, as somebody taking venture capital, you won't have too much leeway depending on how successful you are and what your track record is as a startup founder. Terms vary very widely across the industry. You will find that you get a term sheet and you structure the company mostly according to the way the VC likes it. This may not necessarily be in the best interest of your company and its growth. So you need to, and it's best to educate yourself about company structures long before you actually have to raise funds. It's good to know all the various ways in which they are structuring a company, not just from a tax perspective, but also from the perspective of raising equity and issuing options, RSUs, various other things, and from the perspective of growth, hiring, bringing on executives and other people, co-founders, for example. And if you don't think these things through, you will find that when the time has come, you may not have planned for certain events to occur, and you have either your capital structure or your company structure is poorly designed for the task that it's facing. And this is something you'll need to rectify. It's not fatal, unlike a lack of product market fit. It can be fixed. It's not this thing, but it is annoying, expensive, and aggravating to fix it. And it's best that if you can spend a little bit of time educating yourself ahead of time, you will avoid a lot of these heartbreaks. There are a lot of good resources on the web about how you can do this, and the legal advice, and this is not legal advice, varies widely from country to country on what the right thing to do is. So if you're a startup founder, educate yourself. Learn about company structures. You'll find it useful in the future. Talk to you soon.